Hi everyone, welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I was joking with the people at You Now and Instagram. I'm like, I don't want to, do the little dance, but let's get over that. They know what I'm saying. So, welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a very, very special guest here for the show today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
Yes, thank you very much, Kimberly. Hello, everyone. This is David Phillips here, or Aussie Irish Dave, as I like to call myself. I'm broadcasting live to the Kimberly Cloud Show today from Sydney, Australia. I've been very privileged indeed. Kimberly has invited me to be on her show today, and I'm delighted to be here.
Well, let's go ahead and begin to talk about your past leading up into your presence.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, I ended up in Sydney, Australia I was born in Dublin, Ireland, many years ago. The family emigrated to Brisbane before I spent most of the 90s in Asia, where part of what I did in Asia was I was the go-to man for Microsoft products. Anyone who wanted to buy Microsoft products had to come and see me before coming back to Sydney to pursue my lifelong dream of being in the entertainment industry. And fate can be a strange thing. I'd actually was in partnership with someone. We were doing high-end video presentations for companies. And we were in a partnership, but he had a young family to support and he decided to go his own way. He took a job doing, his specialty was editing. And that sort of left me on my own for a while. And I auditioned for a role called the Irish Convict in a traveling theater production that was traveling around Australia. I got the role, and that's how I met Steve. And this was Steve is my, I guess you could say, business partner in success. Now, Steve's done it all. He's a Hollywood producer. Up till recently, when I joined Iconic Productions, they were involved in projects like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Wolverine, School of Rock. Leading us up to that, as I say, fate is a strange thing. When we found ourselves in lockdown with the global pandemic, Steve had this idea called the power of storytelling, which was taking the idea of promoting yourself and taking that to small, medium-sized businesses, any kind of business owner who's looking to get up and running again or maintain their market share or increase their market share once the global pandemic was over. We combined our expertise and our backgrounds in the entertainment industry, and Steve's an entrepreneur. I had my background in finance and IT, which sort of, in a nutshell, brings me to where we are now, and the power of storytelling, which is what I'm very involved in at the moment.
Wow, that's an honor. You've done powerful things. And tell me, like, where is this storytelling? Like, have you built the app for this actual production company? Like, what have you done to like promote? Even though there's no promotion that's needed because you're very famous, what
Thank
have
you.
you done? I'm just making conversation. What have you
Yeah, absolutely. Well, at the moment, yes, we have a number of websites, and the one that leads you to the power of storytelling is the Steve and Dave website, and that talks a little bit about the strategy, how it works. Customers can, potential clients can book in a call if they want to, or they can just navigate around our website, read a little bit about it. That's probably the quickest way to get to Steve and David at the moment. The SteveandDave.com.
And tell me about one of your incidents acting, where you ran into a challenge and you decided that, you know, you were going to try to work through that challenge.
Mm. Absolutely. Yep. So, what had actually happened is, as I was, as my the partnership I'd spoken about had wound down, and well, I auditioned for this role of the Irish convict in the traveling theatre shows. And what actually happened, Kimberly, was I was taken on with four other actors because there was a lot of shows going on. It was in the June. That's quarter three in Australia, which is the busiest time down here. For the sort of shows we were doing. But at the end of the quarter, I was let go. I wasn't kept on. It was in the end. It was between me and another actor, and the other actor was kept on. And I remember it was Steve actually said to me, "David, I won't say we'll never work again, but you need to improve." And an actor, and I guess you could say an entrepreneur as well, that really was all I needed. I was given that little carrot, I guess, by Steve. And so I decided to just immerse myself in that type of theater that we've been doing. And it was a mixture of street theater and interactive theater. And yeah, over the next 3 months, I just learned as much as I could about it. I drove my poor flatmate insane. He's not in the entertainment industry, but he would just read the other part. And so I drove him insane, practicing my auditioning. And yeah, when January came around for the new year, I auditioned again, and I was taken back on. And I haven't really looked back since then. And I've been shortly after that. Steve and I started up the Power of Storytelling.
Can you tell me, because this is very educational for the people out there. Can you tell me about your first audition? Like, I don't know if that was your first audition, but your very, very first, like, I'm talking about where you had to remember the lines, be in a room, a cold room by yourself. I want you to story tell that. I want to hear it. Like, what was going through your head being on set? Action, three, two, one. Like, I want to know.
Wow, certainly. Okay, well, let's see. My first audition. Um, it was. Let me see. I'd shortly after I had come back from Singapore. When I come back to Sydney to base myself here, I auditioned for the role of Valmont in Dangerous Liaisons. And it was really hadn't been back that long, and I just finished doing a film and theater course because I wanted to learn more about film and behind the scenes. And yeah, I auditioned for this role, and from memory, Kimberly, the audition wasn't too bad. I'm trying to think. God, it was so many years ago. That's right. We had been given some scenes from the script, so I just memorized them, rehearsed them, and it's all coming back to me now, Kimberly. Thank you for bringing this memory back. I remember thinking I'm not doing a good audition at all. There was one guy was leaving everyone for dead, but he was a little bit older. That guy. It turned out he actually worked for the theater company. But yeah, I do remember it now, Kimberly. I thought I'm not doing a good audition at all, and then the director called everyone back in, and he said, "For the role of Valmont, I've decided to go with David." And I was really quite surprised. But coming back to what you said, the whole action, lights, camera, action thing, I think the reality, yeah, really set in when we started rehearsing. And I remember Michael, the director, said to me at one stage, "David, you're playing the lead in this play. When you walk out on stage, everyone is going to be with you for the rest of this play. They've got to believe who you are." And wow, that's where I think yeah, I don't mind saying the fear came in, but as an actor, you have to confront that and overcome it.
And one last question. Where do
Yeah.
you see yourself going for the actual future?
Yeah, well, at present, as I say, Kimberly, I'm very involved, with the partnership with Steve. on the power of storytelling and the strategy that we are taking to businesses. And I guess that's where I'm very focused at the moment. It's very creative. You know, as we speak, we're working with a real estate company in Los Angeles. We're working with a business coach in Southeast Asia. We have a local panel beater in Sydney that we're working on these projects for. So that creativity is still very much there. I'm still very involved in the scripting of the project, and then casting, and if there's a role for a presenter actor, I audition for the business and see if they like me, depending on it. So I think that's where the Steve and Dave, or the collaboration, I think that's very much where I'm focused at the moment, and seeing how we can get some of these these businesses and these people who are so hit so hard by the pandemic, see how we can get them up and running and successful again.
Have you got a couple up and running?
Yes, we do. As I say, we're at the moment we're very involved. We
In
are
different parts of the world, right?
different parts of the world. As I say, Los Angeles, Southeast Asia, Sydney. United. We're talking to a few people in the UK as well. Anywhere. Everyone,
If you're
Kimberly.
planted in Southeast Asia, oh my God, like they don't allow everybody. I know that, so I'm like, okay, I appreciate that. Asia got your back, and that's cool.
Absolutely, yeah. So living in Sydney, but we are part of Asia, and it's a fascinating. The world, Kimberly, is a fascinating place. It really is.
And I wanted to ask you how when your producer, because we're not quite at 15 minutes, but your producer, when he said act, your audience need to believe that you are who you say you are. How did you snap into character? How did you get yourself? What do you do whether you feel you're good at? I think you're pretty good. I have to watch some more tapes, but I think you're pretty good. So what I want to know is how do you what do you do to snap into your acting? How?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, thank you very much for the compliment, Kimberly. That's wonderful to hear. And yeah, it's I guess it's a huge process, but I think in one of the, I guess, the Bibles you could say I have as an actor is, great actors don't act, great actors become. And I hope I can be a great actor, but I think that is the key in becoming. It's not acting. It's not saying I want to feel like a garbage man now. If that's what I'm doing, if I'm playing a garbage man in the scene, I have to become that garbage man. So really, yeah, the preparation, the research, that's all part of it. But as you said, you hit it. How do you snap? That's really it. When you're on set or you're ready to go on stage, whatever it is, you just have to make that transformation.
Understood. If you had to give an entrepreneur a piece of advice, what would it be?
My advice would be to the entrepreneur is that everyone has a story to tell, and don't ever forget that. A lot of the business we go to, they say, "Oh, how can storytelling help me? How can Hollywood help me?" And yet, Kimberly, you listen to someone for 20 seconds, straight away I go, "This person has a story to tell," and they should never underestimate that. The key with what we do, the power of storytelling, is we have the expertise in working out how to get your story resonating and creating an emotional bond with your customers, but the story is yours, and never underestimate that. I love the analogy. What's one of the most successful business film franchises of all time, Kimberly? Star Wars. Everyone thought George Lucas is insane. They said, "George, no one wants to see Harrison Ford saving the universe with a giant Wookiee." Look how wrong he proved everyone.
Yes, I agree. And lastly,
Mm.
how can the people reach you?
Yep. Go to the steveanddave.com, click on the link, and our website is there. You can, as I say, have a look at our website, have a look at our programs. They can book in a call. And Kimberly, we are a 24/7 company. So if you want to book in a call that's 1:30 a.m. in Sydney, depending on what part of the world you're from, we'll be here. We'll be ready to take the call.
I have a joke to make about that. So I wanted to call you, but I don't have long international distance on my phone. So I said, you know what? Emailing is faster. So that's why I emailed you and didn't call. But I will get it on my phone and I will call you. Definitely. Keep that number in mind. Take care. Stay on the line. Take care. Do you have anything else before we depart?
No, Kimberly, just once again, Kimberly, it's been a pleasure to be here. And I heard what you said, that you'd love to interview Steve as well. So anytime you want to have us back, Kimberly, just give the word and Steve and David will be here. This has been a wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
This is just the beginning. Hold on, stay on the line. Thank you, everyone. You all take care, and I will see you guys later.